I'm Karen.
I'm Jackie.
And I'm Sarah, and we're the New Look Bananarama.
I just joined the BBC from school because I wanted to move to London, and I thought television sounded interesting. But they took me on in the capacity of a pensions department clerk, which wasn't really what I had in mind, and said that once you got your foot in the door you were okay. But I couldn't really be bothered to apply for anything else because I suppose it was a cushy job. I didn't really work, and I went out every night and went into the office and slept. And once the group started, I used up all my holiday and as many days off as I could take sick without them getting suspicious. So I just had to leave, really, because we'd sort of got down. I think we'd actually made our first single while I was working there. Then things just started to look like they were going to take off, so I just left and said I was going to be a pop star instead.
Well, when I was about 13, fashion and kind of writing seemed really glamorous and interesting to me. And the course I did at the London College of Fashion was only a year long, which I finished and I passed. And then I didn't really try for jobs because by that stage I was like going out to lots of clubs and going to see bands. And I really thought, that kind of idea appealed to me more. It seemed more glamorous and more exciting. So that's, the change.
Being in the group was just a laugh at the time. It was something that, I'd always enjoyed performing, whether it was like in school musicals or I did a lot of classical piano when I was younger, and I used to play in sort of competitions and things. And it's just something I've always loved doing. But we used to jump on stage with anyone who'd let us, just try and take the limelight, really, and got carried away.
Didn't really decide on a girl group. We didn't have any idea that it would last this long anyway. It was just like Siobhan, Karen and I went round together as friends, and we lived above a rehearsal room which was owned by Paul Cook at the time, and he used to play drums and Steve Jones used to play guitar, and the three of us just used to go in there to like sing and mess around. And it was just the fact that we were mates that it happened to be a girl band, but it could just easily have been like two girls and a boy, but that's just the way it was.
Obviously, they were well known and we weren't, and they sort of plucked us from nowhere. We'd had only one single out, and all of a sudden we were on top of the pops, and it was just like a dream come true. I happened to think that the idea was really good and fresh at the time, and we would have probably succeeded anyway. And in fact, it might have been a bit better for us if we'd taken longer, because we could have got our act together, as they say. As it was, we were sort of plummeted into the charts and had nothing. We thought, what are we going to do? We had no material, a real recording contract, as such. We certainly didn't have any money, so it was all a bit of a shock, but it did help, obviously.
It's the way that you do it, it ain't what you do, it's the time that you do it. It ain't what you do, it's the place that you do it. That's what gets results.
You can try hard, don't mean a thing. Take it easy, and your jive will swing.
It ain't what you do, it's the way that you do it. It ain't what you do, it's the way that you do it. It ain't what you do, it's the way that you do it. And that's what gets results. It ain't what you do, it's the way that you do it. It ain't what you do, it's the way that you do it.
Well, Terry Hall bought our first single, and he really liked it, Aye and Mana, and he asked us to sing on his album. We were really scared doing that because we'd never sung before, and obviously he had a big hit because he was well known with the specials, and it helped us. Then he produced our next single, Really Saying Something, so there was kind of no planning. We just went from leaving school, leaving college, straight to number 4 in the charts, which was very hard to come to terms with.
With his collar and buttons on my side, he was driving. He was really saying something. Really saying something. Bop, bop, shibby-doo-wah. Bop, bop, shibby-doo-wah. He got it every step of the way. I could hear every word he'd say. Oh yeah. My resistance was getting low. And my feelings started to show. My heart started thumping, blood pressure jumping. He was really saying something. Really saying something. Bop, bop, shibby-doo-wah. Bop, bop, shibby-doo-wah.
It still felt like dancing at a school disco. It didn't feel really... I never took it seriously for about 3 years after that, when it actually became more of a business and we saw it as a long-term career. And I don't think even the record companies took it seriously. They probably thought we were a 1 or 2 hit wonder, not a 7-year wonder.
Like it may not be it, but he moved me tremendously. Although he was bold, my heart he stole. He was really saying something. Really saying something. Bop, bop, shibby-doo-wah. Bop, bop, shibby-doo-wah. Really saying something. Really saying something. Bop, bop, shibby-doo-wah.
It was brilliant, but it's always felt really natural for some reason. And even the biggest shock was when we actually had our first flop, which I just couldn't believe, because everything had been so easy up until then. We hadn't really thought about it much or worked very hard. It was just all a big joke, and it was only when we had our first flop that we thought, oh my God, we're going to have to actually work at it if we want to stay successful. And we knuckled down, but we have our ups and downs, and the downs don't really worry me anymore because I've seen us come back after so many sort of little hiccups. So whatever happens, happens.
He'll never love you the way that I love you. 'Cause if he did, oh no, he wouldn't make you cry. He might be feeling, baby, but my love, so doggone willing, so kiss him. Just go on and kiss him. Goodbye now.
atrocious. Unfortunately, it was very popular. And for years afterwards, people sort of sing it at you in the street and you sort of die. There we go.
So, what are Bananarama's plans now that you've had Thomas and you're back to work, I suppose?
Well, I haven't really been back to work yet. I've had a few meetings, but we're in the studio the day after tomorrow. So that's sort of the beginning. I'm really looking forward to getting back because I feel like I've been sitting around for quite a while now and I just feel totally useless. So I'll be glad to get back.
What are Bananarama's plans for 87?
Well, we're starting on a new album at the moment. We've been sort of getting some songs together and we're doing some demos this week and take it from there. I hate to sort of make plans because we always cancel them.
So do you think there'll be a tour?
Well, I hope. I mean, we've been saying we're going to tour for years, and I mean, the end of last year really was the tour had been organised, and then I ruined it. So there should be one sort of to promote this album, but I'd hate to say it in case one of the others got pregnant or something else happened. So I'd rather not sort of make any promises, you know.
We started writing from the very beginning, and I think that was like a learning process for us. And a lot of the stuff worked really well, but after a while it became too sort of formularised and very bland, which is why we moved on to Waterman, Stock and Aitken.
Yeah, baby, she's got it.
Well, we'd wanted to work with them for ages, and the record company wanted to play safe and keep us with Jolly and Swain. And I think when we presented them with the True Confessions album, they perhaps thought, well, I don't think we can see many hits on here. Maybe we should let them have their way. And we wanted to do Venus, and Jolly and Swain didn't want to do it anyway. Neither did Stock Aitken Waterman, but we forced them into it.
We took Venus to them and asked them if they'd do it, but kind of make it like high energy, which was something we'd never done before, and that's how it worked out. And then we continued to do the album with them.
exciting moving to a different producer. They had they were a lot freer with us in the studio. They let us just go in and just belt out a song. They don't sort of say, oh, that line's not perfect, you're going to have to do it. And so we actually recorded it in about 10 minutes, you know. We just went in there and all sang it, and they kept it. And I thought, well, is that it then, or is that just like a rough? And they said, no, it sounds fine, it sounds great. And it was so refreshing. And also, they hadn't really had any success apart from Dead or Alive until then. And so, I mean, certainly not at the level they were now, you know.
I get on with them more now than I used to, because they realise that I'm not, you see, I think most artists take it wrong. I'm trying to help their career. What they don't understand is that, you know, by helping them, I've also got to be a villain to them. Because, you know, they would turn up most days and laze about and not really stick to the plot. Where I know I'm under pressure from the record company to make the records. So I'm the guy that comes in and says, come on, for Christ's sake, stop playing bloody table tennis and let's get on with the game here. You know, we're here to make pop records. And it's like that, of course, is like, and I'm also the one that goes out and, like, winds everybody up. So it's like, if you like, I'm the, as the enemy said, the respectable face of Thatcherism. I'm the one guy that looks like he's conning it in. You know, it's all coming to me personally, and nobody else is getting any. So, you know, I'm the one they love to hate. But at the end of the day, I know that particularly the girls on the way we're working now, the whole album was my direction. It was like I sat down and said, I love Bananarama, which I do. I am a Bananarama fan. I happen to think they're good for pop music. So I came up with this whole thing with the girls and with the guys, and I said, like, this is what we're going to do. We're going to make a classic pop album. It's going to have lots of pop songs on it, but it's going to be up. It's not going to be down and frowned. It's going to be an up record. So then they said, when I heard a rumour, which at the beginning they didn't want to do it, suddenly they say, oh, this is great, this is fantastic. They, you know, it flows, but the original it's like, oh Christ, here he is again. What's he going to come up with now?
I think Rumour getting to number 4 was more satisfying for me, because actually I think that's probably my favourite track we've ever recorded. I heard a rumour, I love it. Sort of fun year. I think moving to Stock Aitken Waterman, who are not ashamed of doing pop music, whereas everyone else seemed to be before they came on the scene, and deciding, you know, well, bugger everyone else, we are best at making pop music. It's what we enjoy doing. We want to make music we can dance to. We want to make a classic pop album, as is sort of suited to the way we are and the way we sing. And we didn't really have any pretensions, or we weren't trying to do anything apart from make music to be enjoyed. And we enjoy performing it, and it's been really brilliant having just every single you can dance to, so you can put a good performance. So I think that's where our sort of main strength is, in the way we put our songs across. And we're sort of real entertainers, and we try and think up as many new ideas as we can to sort of enhance our performance. You could say. I think we took it to the limits with the BPIs, with the 15 men in their stockings. That seemed quite natural to us, but everyone else was really shocked. And I just saw it as a progression from the 3 dancers, or a few more that we've been using throughout the year.
It was just when we were working out dance routines with this choreographer, Bruno, he was dancing behind us, and it just looked good having someone doing, similar things behind. And so we just got 3 of our friends in to dance. And it just made travelling round more enjoyable, because the 3 of us were getting a bit jaded, a bit bored. And when we took the 3 boys with us, it was like a school outing. It was just a laugh, really.
Last night I was dreaming, I was locked in a prison cell. When I woke up, I was screaming, calling out your name. Whoa, and the judge and the jury, they all put the blame on me. The blame on me. They wouldn't go for my story. They wouldn't hear my plea. Only you can set me free. 'Cause I'm guilty, guilty, guilty as a girl can be. Come on, baby, can't you see? I stand accused of love in the first degree. Guilty of love in the first degree. Someday, I believe it, you will come to my rescue. Unchain the heart you're keeping, and let me start anew. The hours pass so slowly since they've thrown away the key. Away the key. Can't you see that I'm lonely? Won't you help me, please? Only you can set me free. 'Cause I'm guilty, guilty, guilty as a girl can be. Come on, baby, can't you see? I stand accused of love in the first degree. Guilty of love in the first degree. Guilty of love.
This is Samuel Joseph Hurricane, viewers, TV personality of the future. I'd like him to learn musical instruments, and I'd like him to learn to paint, and I'd like him to read a lot. Just things that sort of improve the spirit, make you happier.
Yeah.
I'd like him to learn to dance as well at an early age. So he can take his mum around the floor for a waltz.
Are you gonna show him a few of the Bananarama steps?
They're quite easy, actually. You could probably pick them up now.
You could do the choreography together, right?
Yeah.
Well, I could see Karen's baby, right?
Yeah.
And then your baby. And so Sarah's the only one.
The new 5-star.
Right. Great. So what's the next step for Bananarama?
The next step for us is, we're hoping to, after we've released this record and the next record, and
Our long-term plan is to get a film going this year, based around us, loosely.
You've tasted honey, you've had the rest. Well, here I am. Come on and try the best. No chance, won't let you get away. No way. Whatever you need from me, gonna let you get your way. I'm waiting, can't get enough. So move your body, 'cause I need you. I won't give up.
How did you feel when Siobhan decided to leave?
It was really sad. It was sad, and yet I was relieved, because it had been a really frustrating year, particularly the last few months, where we hadn't been able to do anything apart from interviews with just me and Sarah, because Siobhan was in America and we were here. We were completely cut off. Her phone number kept changing. It was like a nightmare trying to even communicate with her. And I just missed being able to perform on TV shows as opposed to having to talk and show a video. And we just didn't know where we stood, and I just wanted it to be clear one way or the other, either like a full commitment or else, say, I'm leaving. And so it was a relief to actually have the answer. But it was sad, because it's like an end of an era.
I think we sort of knew it was coming because she was spending more and more time abroad. Obviously, with Dave being in the Eurythmics, he was based in LA and France and all over the place. And, if two people want to be together, that's fine by me. So I think we saw it coming. It wasn't a huge shock. Obviously we miss her and she's still my mate, but I couldn't have found a better person to take her place, because I've known Jackie for like 7-8 years and she fits in so perfectly.
Jackie's sort of like a breath of fresh air, and she's fitting in really well, and it's sort of really exciting when she does things for the first time that we know really well, and she just can't believe the sort of things you have to do and go through. It's shocking.
I think she used to go to Billy's and the Blitz and this club called Studio 21, and just used to see her out all the time, and people used to say that her and her friend Joe reminded them of me and Karen. Just, I don't know, an attitude, just very similar people. So I've known her for quite a while.
We just couldn't think of anyone, because there's no way we would have got someone in who just didn't fit in, or who we didn't know, because the whole thing's based on enjoying each other's company and friendship and having the same attitude to life, really. And initially we sort of thought, well, that's it then, we're just the two of us, I hope it can work. And it didn't look as good when we were standing just the two of us, like dancing and things. And then Sarah just suddenly brought up Jackie's name, and we just thought, fabulous. And we said to Peter Waterman, and because he'd worked with her, and he thought it was a great idea, and said, the way she sings and everything will fit in really well. And we asked her, and she joined before we'd even heard her sing or dance with her or anything, although we'd had a dance at clubs, which is where our friendship began.
Well, I got a call from Pete Waterman, because I'd worked with him when I was in the Shillelagh Sisters, and he asked me to come down because he wanted to form a new... he wanted me to get involved with a band who needed a new singer, and I had no idea it was Bananarama. So I went down to see him, and he said that this band was ready to go off and do all their stuff straight away, and would I be prepared to do that? And I said, yeah. And then he introduced me to Bananarama's manager, and she said, do you know Sarah and Karen? And I said, yeah, of course. And she said, well, that's who I want you to join. So I was really shocked and just jumped at the chance. First thing I had to do was that, and it was really nerve-wracking. But Sarah and Karen just told me to think of it like I was singing to them in a club, and like we usually sort of get together and muck about. And it just made it really easy for me, really, really easy. And it took about an hour in all. It was really quick, and it was enjoyable.
I mean, it actually didn't sound much different at all. I mean, you wouldn't notice, and I mean, I can sort of just about make it out. You just wouldn't notice at all. Having said that, that was sung in a certain way, and we just copied it, so we haven't actually explored what's going to happen vocally. But I know she's going to fit in. I mean, we all basically sing like white English girls, and that's what we are. I mean, I don't think she's not out of place at all in any way.
So, I mean, when they suggested what we did in the video, I was like, I can't believe they're suggesting all of this, because that's the sort of thing I sort of do, mucking about, make home videos, as you know. And and it was just brilliant, and it was great to do. I was really nervous, but it sort of came out okay in the end. We're going to do another single with Waterman Stock and Aitken in the next couple of weeks, and then we're off to Japan, and then I don't know if we'll do the whole album with them, but we'll see how things go.
We keep hearing every year that you're going to tour. When's it finally going to happen?
Well, Japan, we're going to do like 3 gigs. It's going to be obviously to backing tracks, but live vocals, just to get a kind of taste for the stage. And hopefully after this next album, then we should go out and tour. Just keep you all guessing, all waiting.
It's just something I'm desperate to do, and next month we're sort of almost live. We're singing live, but without a band, just with our dancers in Japan, and that'll be a really good experience for us because we're a bit rusty. We haven't been on a stage singing for a good 4 years, I don't think. Obviously, the last 2 years were taken up with having babies. And this year, hopefully, we can do it. I think we should probably record a new album first, so we can just go out, the 3 of us, with all the new material. And Jackie will be on it all.
I don't need to persuade them to play live because they've always wanted to do it, but for various reasons, like Karen getting pregnant and Siobhan getting pregnant, they haven't been able to do it. But obviously I'll be pushing that as well, but I don't really need to push it because that's what they want to do as soon as they possibly can, which I'll be looking forward to.
Well, I think all producers in the end get kind of formularised. It's just those who last the longest time are the ones that are able to change, who have their ears open to like different things and influences around them. I think Waterman, Stock and Aitken realise now that they have become very formularised, and this year they have to change, and I think they're prepared to do that. Because they have the foresight, I think, to see that they can change. Because if they don't, we obviously won't stay with them.
It's bound to be different. I mean, we do want to move away, particularly from the sort of sound of I Want You Back. Although I love it, it's become very formula Stock Aitken Waterman, more so than the rest of the album anyway. That is the one track that I would have picked out as saying that actually really does sound like them, But we've spoken to them about changing, and they feel it's time for a change as well. Obviously, you can't do anything too drastic. As about working with other people, it's a possibility as well. I think the main thing is we'll go in and see how things are going, and if we feel it's getting a bit boring or a bit stale or samey, then we'll just move on. I think we'd be foolish if we didn't go back to them after having the most successful year of our careers, We'd be really stupid.
I've just got to learn all the routines and all the songs and all the words to the songs, so that's quite enough for me at the moment.